Motorcycles are commonly thought of as those silly two-wheeled, loud machines that annoy you at 3 a.m. when they go roaring past in your neighborhood. In reality, motorcycles, when sold from the factory, all comply with decibel regulations, muffling requirements, and most of all, CO2 emission control. So what gives? Why are those bikes so damn loud? Well, it's likely due to the fact that the rider has modified their bike in the pursuit of the perfect blend of sound and power. Today, it's all about exhaust systems here on Yammie Noob. I am your host, the irreverent Yammie Noob, back once again to deliver the sweet, sweet motorcycle content you've come to know and love. This video is proudly supported by the good people over at Manscaped. You guys know what it is, they make the finest in men's grooming for the downstairs area. But why stop there? Manscaped are on the path to serve men everywhere for their unsightly needs. They have foot sprays, ball wipes, deodorants, and more. So if you thought they only provided the world's finest no-nick shaver for your downstairs, well, think again. Manscaped has hooked it up for viewers of Yammie Noob by getting you guys a code for 20% off your entire order, plus free shipping by writing in YAM20 at checkout. Honest to God, I use these clippers myself for my yam jams, and they work, my boys. So head over to Manscaped's website by hitting the link below, use the code YAM20 at checkout, and get your junk sorted out. So today we're going to be looking at what is the purpose of an exhaust system, why motorcycle riders swap out their factory exhausts, and why you should get one and how you should go about doing it. So let's crack into it today. But before we get started, you're going to want to smash that subscribe button because we are without a doubt the most consistent, prolific, and dedicated motorcycle channel on YouTube. We produce 5 videos per week, 3 of these video essay videos per week. That was a lot of videos in the week thing. Wow, okay, always with a dash of humor, a few vlogs, and a weekly episode about our beginner bike giveaway series. Depending on when this video goes live, it could be our FZ07 or our brand new bike we're giving away. Who can say? As always, Turbo Busa or die, you should subscribe. I'm giving away bikes and I sure do appreciate likes. Now let's go. Let's begin with the most basic of assessments. What is a motorcycle exhaust system and what is it for? Put simply, an internal combustion engine works by sucking in air, compressing that air, igniting it with a spark, and then blowing all that out the combustion chamber the other end. That's for a 4-stroke engine anyways, which we will get into 4-stroke versus 2-stroke engines one day because that is very interesting. So the exhaust system is the system of tubes that sits right at the port where those nasty gases come out. I say nasty because carbon monoxide will kill you quick. So those tubes move the gases away from the engine block and out of your path. Now, you might be saying, well, if this thing is exploding several times per second, isn't that going to be crazy loud? And you'd be right. If you've ever experienced what an engine sounds like with what we call open headers, meaning there's no muffling and just a straight pipe from the exhaust port of an engine block, it is loud. So the main purpose of an exhaust is to muffle some of that sound. The science behind this can be complex, but basically comes down to a series of perforated cores in the piping, resonators, and other ways to muffle the sound. Another extremely important part of your exhaust system is how it makes your bike perform better. Even though we motorcyclists tend to think of the stock system on a bike as this gigantic hunk of metal standing between us and the beautiful sound of our machines, they're actually incredibly R&D intensive items that have been painstakingly designed to produce as much power as possible given constraints from government agencies, budgets, and other things. A stock exhaust system also usually contains a small bung for an O2 sensor to keep an eye on the composition of the gases escaping from the exhaust. And on newer bikes, most exhaust systems contain a catalytic converter which is designed to reduce the harmful output of gases into the environment. While we all want our bikes to be loud and fun, we do need to be mindful of how we're treating the planet. So this begs the question, if my stock exhaust already does all this cool stuff, it came attached to my bike from the factory, why would I want to mess with it? Here are a few key reasons you'd want to change out your exhaust system. First and most obvious is the sound. A stock exhaust is typically very quiet. Most of us are riding around because we want to feel a sense of excitement, passion, and any other myriad of marketing buzzwords that companies use to trick us into buying their brand spanking new leader bikes. As a perfect example, we went from sewing machine noises on our FZ07 we're giving away to a barking, angry cross-plane sound once we slapped on a full system. Cruisers experience a similar transformation. A V V-twin that's corked with a stock system sounds decidedly weak, but once you slap a system on there, you get that classic rumble. Sport bikes do it too. Open up the pipes and you get to really hear it sing at the top end of those screaming RPMs. What could be better? So we have sound. But the other thing we have to remember is that a stock system with all of its catalytic converters, resonators, mufflers, etc., well, that's just going to be heavier than a streamlined aftermarket pipe. An exhaust system is a great way to drop some pounds off your ride, making it much more flickable and sporty to ride. Or hey, maybe you're on a bigger bike and you want a system so that you can cancel out the weight from a saddlebag or something. Every pound counts on a motorcycle, so shaving off even 5 or 7 pounds can make a big difference in the long run. And best of all, an aftermarket exhaust system, when tuned correctly, which we'll get into, can provide significant power gains. And who doesn't like extracting even more power from their bike? OEMs have all kinds of constraints when designing exhaust, and honestly, power is probably not the top of mind for them. However, several modern day sport bikes can easily see upwards of 5 to 10 horsepower gains from a full exhaust system plus some fuel management. But let's be real, it's really the butt dyno that counts the most, so if you feel like it's faster, then it probably is faster. So we've established that you're going to get a better sound, it'll be lighter, and it will make more power. Well, this sounds pretty good so far. Sign me up. Well, hold on a second there, Junior. We gotta figure out if your best option is a slip-on exhaust or a full system. Let's look at the main differences between these two and why you might choose one over the other. As we mentioned previously, exhaust systems are a critical component of your bike, and it's one of the big pieces you can buy for it. There's two types that people think about: slip-ons and full system. A slip-on system, as the name implies, is one in which you simply slide off the old muffler on your bike and put on a less restrictive pipe at the end. These are relatively cheap, running anywhere from $120 to $300 at the very most. They're super easy to put on and will require no additional modifications to the fuel system or anything else on the bike. If you just want your bike to be a little bit louder than stock, maybe spruce up the looks a little bit, and takes about 20 minutes to slide it on, then this is the option for you. I usually recommend this to street bike riders who just want that extra pop for their bikes, but are going to be mostly using their bikes on the road. This is a cheap and simple mod that anyone can do to their bike, and it will really change up how you feel about your bike. Alternatively, you have the Blessed by Rossi full system. As the name implies, a full system is a complete replacement for the stock exhaust system for your motorcycle, as in the entire pipes are going to come off and you're going to be putting on new pipes from the headers back. There's a few things to note about full systems. 1. They will require much more time to install, especially if you have a fully faired motorcycle. You'll be taking out fairings, popping off the old system on the bike, fitting up a new one. You should plan on 2 to 3 hours for this install, 3 to 4 if you've never done it before. 2, because you are taking apart the entire exhaust, in certain states and countries, this might not be legal to use on the road. Because I live in Texas, which has some of the most relaxed laws when it comes to exhaust systems, seriously, there's a loud Corvette or Mustang around every other corner around here, I have personally never run into any issues with this. However, states like California and most EU countries, and Australia too with their defect system, will come down hard on you if you have a full system on your bike that's either too loud or doesn't have the proper chambers to capture those dangerous exhaust gases. 3. Modifying the exhaust system this extensively will change the air-to-fuel ratio requirements for your bike. Because the bike is much less restrictive, that means you're going to need more fuel going into the bike. Otherwise, this is going to cause it to run lean and will reduce the longevity of your engine. This means purchasing a fuel management system like a Bazaz. I mentioned the Bazaz because I've had nothing but good experiences with their products, so that you can modify the fuel going into your bike. Alternatively, if your bike is carbureted, you might need better flowing carbs or high flow jets. Something to that effect. I've never owned a carbureted motorcycle. And number 4, cost. A full system is going to be much more expensive than a simple slip-on. For example, a full Akrapovic system for an R1 could run you as much as $2,000 plus the fuel management. So you might be looking at $2,500 roughly to fit it with the full exhaust. That's halfway to a great track bike or a Grom for the stable. Kind of crazy. So, depending on your budget, what you intend to do with the bike, and what your priorities are, a full system might make sense. For example, my track bike will undoubtedly have a full system on it. Our giveaway bike also has a full system on it, because there are actually no real slip-on options for the FZ07. But for me personally, other than my FZ09, I kept the exhaust stock on both of my Daytona 675Rs and my R3. So it really depends on your priorities. A question I see a lot is, well, how loud will it be? And you have to remember that a full system will be loud, no two ways about it. However, certain systems are louder than others because they're not all created equal. In fact, we have a video coming out about the 7 best aftermarket exhaust systems for your bike, so stay tuned for that. You can also have silencers and baffles in the exhaust systems that will quiet them down substantially. Now, you might be asking, well, what if I just cut my exhaust off at the headers? Isn't that the same as a full system? I think these exhaust companies might be ripping us off. Well, before you bust out the reciprocating saw, know this: running open headers, or drag pipes as they're sometimes called, is ill-advised. While open pipes can make good power way high up in the rev range if you're properly tuned, you're going to see really large diminishing returns for low-end power. So unless you plan on literally being constantly in the higher rev range, which even on a track, you're not going to constantly be in the high rev range. You might hit a corner and find yourself that being in a lower gear gives you better drive, and having that low-end power will serve you well. So the conclusion to this video, the reason why you need an exhaust, well, put simply, it rules. I used to be a staunch proponent of only getting exhaust systems for race bikes because on the street, it's good to be more quiet, I don't want to blow out other people's eardrums when I'm riding, and the cost didn't make sense to me. But these days, since I guess I'm balling out of control here and giving away free bikes, I think sprucing up your ride with an exhaust system makes it all worthwhile. It's super fun and an integral part of motorcycle ownership in my opinion. And come on, it's awesome to start your bike up and hear it roar to life. But as always, what do you guys think? Full systems? Slip-ons? What's best for you? I'd love to hear your opinion. Which bike do you think sounds best with an aftermarket system? And of course, I cannot go a whole video mentioning full systems without talking about how rad the full system on our FZ07 is. This is our giveaway bike, and hopefully when this video goes out, we're still giving it away. I think we still are. We should be. Why are we so disorganized here on Yammie Noob? Who can say? Check that out in the link in the description below. You can enter for free by sending me a letter to the address listed. And if you want to support the series, you'll get additional chances to win, and you get to chat with me on our Discord server. So check that out. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you got something cool out of this video, and I will see you next time. Fact: I am on a plane right now and I don't have access to my list of facts, so today you will have to do without. I'm sorry. Goodbye.